Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I would love to share with you the platforms I've used over the last 6 months on this day trading journey. I created this account back in December with a goal of making $100,000 from a small account. It hasn't gone as quickly as I thought, but that's totally okay. I'm a rookie. Started with $1,000 back in December, slowly grew that, have had some ups and downs, and now I'm just kind of reflecting on what it's looked like over the last 6 months, because last month I had my worst month in a long time. And while I've been green since the very start, I'm on the verge of being red on the account. And so I'm using kind of the YouTube journaling kind of thing I've been doing as a way to go over certain aspects of trading, and instead of my normal recaps, to where, I don't know, we might be able to get some information from this, get some insight from this as to what's been happening over the month of June that's really just snowballed this account. So we've done a few videos. This is part 3 of 7. I'll link the last video up now. That was about scanners, and this one's going to be about platforms. Today was a no trade day. July 8th was a no trade day for me. July is about discipline, and there was nothing really that hit my scanner. By the way, this is the scanner that I've been using, Charts Watcher, and the stock that we're going to have up for most of these platform videos is going to be this NV. Let me just do this real quick. NVVE, which is on the top gainers, up 123% currently. I haven't traded it because I only trade in pre-market. So, no trade today, as you can see on Lightspeed Trader Pro, which is the platform I'm currently using, and that'll be the last platform that we get to. So let's just get to it. Back in December, when I started, right before I started kind of this Ross Cameron style of trading, I actually was using the first platform I want to show people is actually Fidelity, because people are going to have accounts in Fidelity, but the issue with Fidelity is that it's not a great platform for day trading. It's not quick enough, and you can't use shortcuts via your keyboards. You have to click everything, which is fine for a lot of people. And I'm not a clicker. I use my keyboard quite a bit, but it's a little clunky in some other areas as well. Wash sales can be a little bit weird on the platform on how that works and how that's displayed. But from a functionality standpoint, if you're looking to hyper scalp, this really isn't the play. I trade my HSA in here, and then I can't click on these because it'll actually show the account information and my brokerage link. And my HSA, my main holding is our leveraged ETFs from earnings reports, and then in my brokerage link is predominantly SCHD right now. But I will swing trade. I'll do intraday swing trades. We're technically a day trade on these accounts as well. And I'll kind of just briefly show you how this works. I have set up these buy, ask, and sell bid buttons right here, so I can click it, and you'll see you'll see this window start to change, right? So if I wanted to buy on the ask right now, I can click buy ask, but you'll notice that the limit price is $11.32, but the ask is $11.45. So you have to click this button and hit follow ask, and then now it will update live-ish. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. And now I could buy a lot of 100 of this, and it would be no problem. Hit place, and it's set up to do it automatically without notifying me, and it would show up down here in orders if I had the right account selected. And then when I wanted to sell bid, I would have to sell bid, and then same thing. I need to come over here, hit follow the bid, and then hit place. And it's a little bit clunky. I started learning you have to buy and sell in predefined lots to really do it quickly, or you have to select this button and pick your lot size and pick your share size and do all that stuff. And all that's actually set up on the button. So if I come up here and hit edit shortcuts, you can see buy, ask, and sell bid right here. So I'll edit one of these so you can see what this looks like. And this is currently how I have it set. I just have it set to buy 100. That's just how I like to do it. I'll change that every once in a while depending on what's going on. For the most part, I'm just buying 100, selling 100. And I've got a limit order on the ask, 10-cent offset, and then buy bid. Let me go back. Sell bid, actually, right here. Very similar on the sell bid side, and it keeps it pretty simple. Now, they used to allow me to have 2 of these windows up. I don't know what happened. They were here before. They're not here now. It's been a little bit since I logged into this, but this window right here, I used to be able to, when I hit buy ask and sell bid, there actually used to be 2 windows that popped up, and I kind of liked that because I could manage both the windows and make sure that each of these had follow bid or follow ask in this case, follow bid, because follow bid or follow ask, depending on what I'm trying to do. And it was always updating properly. And now it doesn't work that way. If I want to buy on the ask and then sell on the bid, every time I come to sell on the bid, I got to come back in here, follow the bid, it updates. Kind of annoying. So not the best platform, but it is a platform. One of the strengths of this platform is its level 2. By default, you get a pretty darn good level 2. It's got quite a bit of depth. I mean, this is pretty good depth for a level 2, in my opinion. And if you were on Webull or some other platform where you had to pay for the level 2 and you didn't want to pay for it and you had a little bit of money in Fidelity, you could totally use this as your level 2 if you wanted. It shows halt levels. It's got these colors were here by default. But anyway, that's Fidelity. That's one of the platforms you could use for trading or swing trading. Not necessarily, in my opinion, like hyper scalping, day trading, that this account that we created is used for. The next one would be that I was working with was Charles Schwab. And this is the actual Charles Schwab website. So we're not using a software kind of front end. And you can totally buy and sell right in here. If you want. I used this for buying and selling SPACs, special acquisition companies. Also, any long-term investments that I wanted to buy, I would do that in here, or swing trades. I would do it in here. That's before I learned this kind of Ross Cameron warrior trader style of trading. And then, but the primarily in here, I would do options. And so, I actually really enjoy how options work on this platform. And so if options are your thing, or you just buying for your long-term investments or your swing trading, you could totally just use this. And it has a charting feature as well. I just don't use it. But you could totally get in here and you could, make some trades in here for swing trades and long-term trades and some SPACs and a few other things. So it is there if you choose to use it. But I mean, as we all know, we'll go into this a little bit later, maybe. Once you start, looking at day trading, scalping, we're gonna need something else, right? So the first thing I actually went to was Thinkorswim, naturally, because I had an account with Charles Schwab. And this layout you see here, I'm happy to share this layout for anyone who has Thinkorswim and is looking for a layout that's kind of got everything it needs for the Ross Cameron warrior trader style of trading. Like, for example, because I use hotkeys, I only use buy bid. I only use buy the ask and sell the bid, because I only trade in pre-market. I have those bound to hotkeys. I think it's like Alt A and Alt Q or something. I forget what it is in Thinkorswim. And so I don't use the ladder at all over here. So I actually reduced what this ladder even showed, and then I hide the ladder because I don't use it. And a few other little tweaks that I've made in here. But this is the daily chart. This is the this is the daily chart, 5-minute chart, and a 1-minute chart. And you can trade pretty well on Thinkorswim, doing the Ross Cameron style of trading, or really any style of trading. The one downside of the platform is that the scanners don't update in real time. And so I think they update every 1 to 3 minutes or so, which isn't a huge deal. But the columns that are within the scanners, once you have the scanner results, so the columns you see here, and I'll click scan so you can see what I'm talking about. If I was to run this scanner, DTS pre-market's not going to work. Let me load up another scanner. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Load scan query, personal, and we'll do gap scan right here. So this is my gap scanner I have set up, customized. And then if I hit scan right now, it will scan. It will catch these. And so it did that immediately. But now, in order for you to update this list, it's only going to do that automatically every 1 to 3 minutes. You have to hit the scan button again to get it to work. But the columns within them will update. You see they're updating. The numbers are updating like that, right? That's the one downside of the platform. And if you prefer a 10-second chart, it doesn't have it. And that's actually one of the reasons why I moved away from the platform originally, to Webull, which we'll talk about next, was to have access to a 10-second platform, or 10-second chart. But it turns out you don't really need a 10-second chart. I thought I did at the time. You really don't need a 10-second chart. Like, I was very successful, toot my own horn, as a new trader in a hot market, ignorant, not understanding risk, all in, all out. And using just a 1 minute chart and doing my normal entries here. So this has been a pretty wonderful platform, and I can share this layout with you guys if you need it. It's a great starting layout for this style of trading. And yeah, you just watch the level 2, you watch your charts, you hit your buy ask and sell bid. And the other thing here with this platform was that the way that the charts function are kind of archaic. Like I can't zoom in by like using my mouse wheel, or like I forget exactly, like it's been a while since I've been in here, but like the feeling of it is a bit archaic. It's like I got to kind of do this to kind of zoom it in, and I don't know. It's just to me. I'm not trying to piss off any Thinkorswim guys, but like to me, it's a bit archaic. Speaking about Thinkorswim, if Thinkorswim is your jam, if you're thinking about doing this, I'm gonna just promote this. This is a book. It's called Your Trading Playground by Timothy Martin, A Beginner's Guide to Thinkorswim. I will link this in the description. It will not be an affiliate link. I'm not trying to make money off this. It's just sharing someone else's work. This is a really, really good book. Even if you're like proficient at Thinkorswim, there's some great stuff in here. But if you're new, this is a really, really good book to pick up. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And it'll teach you a lot of things you need to know, about Thinkorswim. But there was something else I wanted to say about Thinkorswim. Oh yeah, share size. So if you are running like a small account, say 2,000, 3,000, and you pull up a stock, let's say this stock right here, and you're like, how many shares can I afford of this stock? If you know your account information, you can kind of quickly do the math and punch a number right here to get a share size. But when I was trying to first start it, I was trying to go all in, all out, very similar to Ross Cameron's current small account challenge he's doing on Thinkorswim. And I would always struggle with like how many shares I would need. Now he's using Dash Trader now, which I'm going to show you in a second. But before I knew about Dash Trader, I would just have this little script running right here. So, and I will show you what this looks like. I know it's been a second since I've been in here, so let me I think it's here. Yeah, and then where is it? Right, position size, right? Am I get this right? Yeah, here. Yeah. So I would say, okay, what's my max amount I have in this account? Let's say in my Roth I had 10,000, and then in my main account I had 1,000. Let me just do that 1,000. So every day I'd come in here and I would adjust this based on how much I have, and I'd hit OK, apply, OK. And then whenever I pull up a stock, it tells me right over here the max amount of shares I can buy for that account. So see how this says 926? It said 926. Well, then I just like, oh, okay, 900. I just click 900, and then I would hit my binding and buy and sell. And then same for this other account. It's like 94, right? So then unfortunately I wouldn't be able to afford this. I'd have to punch it in manually because the lowest one I have is 100. But if it was a little cheaper, I could hit the 100 and I could go. So that's one thing that really helped me with this platform, being able to determine share size. But a good platform, pretty good charting. Actually, the charting is really, really strong. Some of the strongest in the game, in my opinion. I just think it's archaic the way that they kind of move around and zoom in and function in that regard. But really good charting system. And in my opinion, you could do a lot of damage here on Thinkorswim. The next platform that I used was actually Webull. I will close out of this. Let me just log out of this and pull up Webull. This is not the exact setup that I use because it's been a while since I've been on Webull. The setup that I use right now is just something that looks like this, and then I move it over. I just move it over and use this charting system I have here that you see there. Yeah, but this I wanted to pull this up because this is one of the versions that I did use. Let me pull up NVVE. The great thing about this platform is that the charting on this platform is not bad. It's actually pretty decent, and the level 2 is pretty decent. The tape is fine, and the wonderful thing about this platform is now you have access to advanced hotkeys. So right here, if I edit this hotkey, I think it's right here. I can click it right here, and I have it on Alt Q. I have it set up right now to let's see. Yeah, order type limit, 1,000, ask, offset 10. I can set the TIF, extended hours, yes. And if I want to, I can do a percentage of account or share size. So you have more advanced hotkeys, which I think is important, especially, I just think it's important as a whole to be able to have advanced hotkeys, and then I can just use my keyboard to be able to buy and sell. This is where I first started learning how important hotkeys were in the Ross Cameron Warrior Trader style of trading. You can click all you want. Like, it's nice to still be able to have those hotkeys set up with the offsets, which I can just click here if I want, but I prefer to use my keyboard. I wonder what this lightning arrow is. It's probably because there's not enough money in the account. So yeah, I'm only showing an account that has 0 money in it, actually. This has been a pretty wonderful platform if you want advanced hotkeys. And honestly, this setup you see here is pretty much all you need. This is actually not set up exactly right. This is a 10-second chart, but typically I have this on a 10-second. This is 15 right now, but typically I have it as a 10-second chart. Sorry, I'm pretty amped up. A 1-minute chart, and then a daily chart here and a 5-minute chart. It's not quite currently set up that way, but it's pretty easy to set those up. Like, you just click on the chart right here, and if you wanted to make it a daily, you could just hit the daily chart. And now you have a daily chart here. Actually, on my other stuff, this is a 5-minute chart, and then this one is the daily chart. Yeah. But the functionality of the charting system feels a little bit more advanced than Thinkorswim as far as how to use it all. But a pretty wonderful platform in my opinion. If you get looking for something a little bit more advanced. Now, the issue with Webull is that sometimes the fills can be a little off, and there's going to be people who tell you they don't have any problem with fills. But that's fine. That's fine. I have had problems with fills. Other people I know have had problems with fills where I'll set a limit. I'll set an offset, say it's 10 cents, and it's like I'm always getting, no matter what's happening, I'm always getting the worst price in that range, which is kind of annoying. I've learned a little bit since then to understand that there might not be liquidity in that range, and that's fine, but it just always felt like I was being taken, and that is not a good feeling. And I mean it's just different on other platforms. When I went to Dash Trader, which we're going to go to next, I just never experienced that problem. On Lightspeed, I never experienced that problem. On Lightspeed, I'm getting in exactly where I want in with usually a really good fill, sometimes better than I expected, which helps cover those fees, by the way. So I don't know. It's a good platform for people looking for something that's free. For most people, it's free. I think in some countries you might have to pay, but commission-free broker, full charting system capabilities. You got full hotkeys, access to hotkeys, a decent level 2. You got to pay for an upgraded level 2, but it's pretty decent. It shows you the halt levels and a few other things, and then it's got a good time and sales. And the time and sales is customizable, isn't it? Oh, maybe not on this platform. You can filter it a little bit. But Dash Trader, yeah. Anyway, that's the next platform that I used for quite some time, and then we'll close that down and get into Dash Trader, which I still have access to because I love it. And this Dash Trader account is set up. Dash Trader is just the software interface. It can connect to a bunch of different brokerages. So this is set up to go through Charles Schwab. So this is my Thinkorswim replacement. And the advantage of using Dash Trader is that I get hyper advanced hotkeys. And what I mean by that is if you want to set up a hotkey in Dash Trader, like I was just commenting with someone on yesterday's video where they are in Thinkorswim and they went to buy a stock, they got in, but when they tried to exit, they couldn't get filled. They kept trying to exit, couldn't get filled, and then they eventually got filled with $1, like $1 loss. You don't have offsets on Thinkorswim. Now, Thinkorswim has its own kind of offset built in. You can get like a nice average of shares around your price, but if it's moving really, really fast, you're not going to be able to get in or out. And then you got to cancel your order and submit it again. And if whether you're selling on the bid or selling the ask or whatever, no matter what, you got to cancel your order, resubmit it, and do that all the way down. Cancel, resubmit, cancel, resubmit, cancel. On Dash Trader, you don't have to do that. On Dash Trader, with one button, with one button, I can sell through the ask, like sell into strength. If that doesn't work and my order is sitting there, I can just tap the same button again, same exact button. So let's say it's just Alt Q or whatever, it'll cancel the order, and it'll recognize that I had an order and automatically sell on the bid with one button. With one button, I can sell on the ask. If the order doesn't fill, I can hit it again. It'll cancel the order and automatically sell on the bid. And then at that point, if it doesn't fill for whatever reason, I can hit it again. It'll just do the bid. So it's very, very, very interesting what you can do with Dash Trade. And that's not even scratching the surface. It's not even scratching the surface. Like, you can set it up to where different price ranges, like within, like if I wanted to, anything over $1, I wanted to have an offset of 10 cents. Anything under $1, I wanted to have an offset of 3 cents, because you can't have an offset too high when you're doing penny stocks. And that can be all done in one button. So it scans, it knows the price, picks the right thing for you. I'm telling you, it's $150 for the Dash Trader, that version I was using. And I mean, that's well worth having access to your hotkeys. To those advanced hotkeys. And I might be able to show one of those to you guys here. But then the level 2 is just, you're just getting you're getting an advanced level 2 compared to Thinkorswim. And it's not even close. Fully customizable with its colors. Fully customizable with these share sizes in here. It's not showing it here now because there's nothing that meets the criteria. But let me switch to this real quick. Let me get off Lightspeed and let's switch to Dash Trader. And let's see if this will just kind of work automatically. I don't know if it will. It did. Great. Okay. I can't. Maybe I can switch to something running. I can't really show you. Okay. Anyway, this section will highlight red if the size is too large. I can customize that. So you're in a trade and all of a sudden it blinks red because it hits a threshold. And in my mind, if there's a large order sitting on the ask, it's probably a sign that I might want to get out, right? Or a sign that I might not even want to get in the first place. So you can set different things. This thing is fully customizable, shows your halt levels. And with Thinkorswim, you don't get to customize it. It doesn't show halt levels. And you get some customizability in here as well. For everything. So it's just, I don't know, man, it's just really, really advanced, and you can fully customize how your time and sales works too. I will tell you this right now. If Lightspeed allowed me to use Dash Trader with the small account size that I have over at Lightspeed, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Lightspeed Trader Pro, but in my mind, Dash Trader is a much better platform just for its customizability. Unfortunately, they don't allow it on account my size. You have to have like $45,000 account or something like that. I forget what it is, but it's a lot. And I asked, they denied me. That's fine. But boy, if they allowed it, I would totally do it. That's how much I love the Dash Trader platform. I will show you a hotkey in here if I can remember. It's been a while since I've been in here. Hotkeys, and then let's do buy. So you guys can kind of see what this looks like. Buy 1,000. Let's do buy 1,000. Yeah, so this is actually going to show you guys one of these kind of things I was talking about. So what this is doing is this is an offset based on the price tier. So with one button, I can press this button. If the price is under $1, so it's a penny stock, the offset changes to 5 cents. If it's anything else, the offset's 10 cents, right? And then it rounds everything for you. And then make sure everything's all set for you here. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That flexibility is pretty advanced, actually. And if anyone's thinking about Dash Trader, I'm happy to share my config for Dash Trader. And what you'll want to do is you'll want the $150 option, and then you'll want to email them. If you're not trading options via Dash Trader, you can want to email them and say, I'd like to trade the options for the ARCA book or something along those lines. And you can get the extra stuff for your level 2 for the not having to pay the extra $25 to get it or something like that. So just let me know if you need help with that, and we'll get that squared away. So this is a platform I've used, I've loved, and I almost wish I would not have went away from this platform. Now, the next one is Lightspeed. Lightspeed is where I'm at currently. I quickly fell in love with Lightspeed, but not really because of the platform. Mainly because of the speed at which you can get your orders filled, and the where you're getting filled at. The fills are so fast, and It's way faster than Thinkorswim. It's noticeably faster than Thinkorswim, and it's noticeably faster than Webull, Thinkorswim, and Dash Trader via Charles Schwab. Noticeably faster. And many times I'm getting filled at better spots than when I'm trying to enter. It's very interesting how it's all kind of working. And you get your offsets can be a little bit lower too. Instead of a 15-cent offset, I might only have to have a 5-cent offset or whatever it may be, because it's so quick at getting in. And that's the primary reason why I have loved this platform. I mean, the level 2 is good, but it's not, in my opinion, not as good as Dash Trader. It's just not. It's not customizable in that way. It's customizable in some ways, but not fully customizable. Same with the level 2. I'm sorry, the tape, the time and tape. I run this little kind of section here when I use Lightspeed, which I've actually grown to really like. And Dash Trader, what you saw was this, where it had like this section right here, which I also like that as well. But so that's kind of like a little bit of the differences. But the main thing with Lightspeed Trader Pro is the sheer speed at which you get in and out of trades. And whether you're scalping really quickly or you're doing what I did yesterday, where a stock goes up a few dollars in a minute or something, I'm just trying to capture a 50-cent piece of that. I mean, that speed, you can feel that speed when you're entering and exit the trades. It's legit. The only problem with the platform is that, like some of these other direct access brokers, there's fees. And when you're winning, the fees are not really that much of an issue. Now, I am using the very basic in the entry level account amount of 20. I think I had to have $2,500 or something. And that has the highest fees. Unless you're trading a ton, which you're not going to be on an account size that high. It has a lot of fees associated with it. And if you're a new trader or newish like me and you're making mistakes, those mistakes are going to be costly. When you're winning, the fees are no big deal. Like yesterday's trade I made, I got filled like 6 cents on a buy. I got filled 6 cents less than what I was requesting, which feels pretty darn good. And that's going to cover the fees that I would have on that one trade easily, right? And that happens quite a bit actually in Lightspeed. So, but if you're winning, it's good. It's all good. If you're losing and you're making a lot of mistakes on top of losing, it can feel pretty rough. And I'll show you on right here for the month of July, which is the month that I'm trying to really crack down on my discipline and what I'm trading and in and out, and just really trying to get a better understanding of what direction I'm going to head after July. Right now, I've made 7 trades. This week I'm up $80. Last week, so right now I'm up $50. I have paid $9 in fees. So, I mean, that's a lot. If you're looking at this number and you're like $9, so you have to be a pretty decent trader to use Lightspeed, in my opinion. And I'm not there yet. I'm gonna finish out the month of July and take a look at the data and have and get a better understanding of like what's really going on. But if I'm winning, like right now this week, 79, I've made 7 trades and paid $9 in fees. I don't mind that at all. That's totally fine as long as I'm winning. But if I continue to make bonehead mistakes like I made last month, like we'll show you last month's. This is last month, down $518. Now this might look different because I'm using a gross P&L, not net P&L, because right now I don't want to show the fees for a reason. We're going to talk about fees in another video. But 63% win rate. We had this $771 loss day, which was a mental error on my part. And now any fees this was only 12 trades. That might have been like, we might call that, I'm just throwing numbers out. There might have been $30 in fees. I don't remember. But because I took that big old loss, now that $30 feels pretty nasty. And for the month, I think I'm at like $500 in fees or something like that, which is a lot because I overtraded on a couple days and lost on those overtrading days, and then took a couple of these big losses, which were mental mistakes on my part. And when you do that in combination with fees, in my opinion, detrimental to a small account. So now, I don't think it's the platform's fault that I had that P&L. It's definitely not. The Lightspeed is wonderful, but when you make the mistakes, it's hard not to think about the fees. When I'm winning, I'm not thinking about the fees. Even on like regular losing days, like this day is just a normal loss day. $30, that's nothing. That's fine. We made 4 trades that day. We probably paid like $3.50 or $4, maybe $4.25 in fees on top of that. Not a big deal. And if you look at this week, I've made 3 trades this week and made $80. I probably paid $3.50 or $4 in fees. Like that's just not a big deal. So just something to kind of think about with Lightspeed. I love the platform, but you have to be aware of the fees. But it's fast. It is very, 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 very fast. So if I had to rank these, I think you probably know where I'm going with this. I wasn't trying to rank platforms or scanners or anything like that. But my favorite is not by far, but up there by quite a bit, definitely Dash Trader. I absolutely love this platform, and interacting with any broker would be totally fine. Like I just love how this thing functions, it works, everything, the customizability, the scripts. And then next up for me would have to be Lightspeed, and from a UI kind of standpoint. But for sheer speed, if I could use Dash Trader with Lightspeed at my account size, I would totally do it. And if you work for Lightspeed Trader Pro and you want to hook a brother up, gosh, man, I would really appreciate it. So that is the platform section of this series. I don't know how that's going to come out. This is supposed to be one take, no edits, all raw, except I recorded about half of this and realized I didn't hit the record button. So I did have to re-record it. So this is technically the second take. Anyway, no trade day today. That's all things platforms that I've used. I can't wait to see how this thing kind of came out. I hope you guys were green today. And if you have any questions about any of these platforms, please don't hesitate to ask. Cheers.